JJ Hatton's 2017 rally campaign wasn't based on winning a series, but for 2018, his plans are set on the MTA New South Wales Rally Championship, and they're big plans.
I won't lie, my goal is to win it outright, but that's very cocky. There's a lot of fast drivers here, a lot faster than me, but you know, if you don't go in with the goal of winning the whole thing, what's the point, you know what I mean? I'm either all in or I'm all out, so we'll see how we go. I'll try and clean myself up a little bit to get faster. It's not as exciting to watch, you know what I mean, but hopefully we have a good crack and the car is reliable. If the car is reliable, we'll have a bit of fun, you know what I mean? But a bit nervous about driving it, to be quite honest, because I haven't been in this car for 5 months. It literally got an engine put into it on Wednesday. We finished working at 2 a.m. Thursday night on it. So hopefully it's like just like riding a bike, and once I get into it for the first stage, I'll figure it back out, you know what I mean? But all in all, I don't know, we'll see what happens, you know.
Round 1 was the Caves Classic Rally, based out of Oberon and held in the Jenolan and Hampton forests. And JJ has a new co-driver, Nathan Long. He's also Car 1.
Never been Car 1 before, and haven't really done a lot of blind rallying. Like, I think I can actually count on one hand how many stages I've done, never mind events, because the first time I done this was with Richie Dalton as my co-pilot. That was always doomed to fail, 2 Irish lads together. I think I done 1.5 stages there, gearbox went. Last year I came here, I just done it for the crack. I wasn't really trying to do that, and I just threw one of my mates in as a co-pilot, so we'd no idea what we were doing. So I won't lie, I'm kind of feeling the pressure a little bit, to be honest, you know. I've never swept the road, blind rally isn't really my thing, and new co-pilot. So normally I'm always just about the crack, but this time I guess I kind of have to get up there and stay up there, you know. I might have to start doing straight lines instead of sideways, keep my speed up.
Last year at this event, I think you said the same thing about a blind rally and you're just going to close your eyes and use the force, but this year a bit more measured.
Yeah, this year I'll have to have the eyes open, unfortunately, you know what I mean? I'll have to get more of a professional approach to it, I reckon. As I said, last year we were just here for the crack, so this year I will be going out there to have a good crack. I would be wondering to see what time my first stage time is, to be honest, because blind rally I don't really know if I'm fast or if I'm slow. So give it a crack, see how it goes, you know.
Stage 1 was the 7.8 kilometre Hampton 1, and running as first car on the road can often leave a driver sweeping the surface and struggling for grip. At the end of the stage, the road position was clearly obvious.
Very loose, very, very loose. Got caught in a few corners and a lot of very big rocks out there. If you go off the road at all, you'll be in trouble. We got through it. Like, all I want to do is finish the first stage. I have no idea where my times are going to be, so yeah, first stage is done, so let's just keep going on the rest of them, keep her straight.
So how's your new co-driver going?
Yeah, he's going good, so he is. He's trying to slow me down and pull me up and try and keep me in straight lines. He's doing a good job, it's good.
JJ could only manage equal 6th on stage, scoring the same time as Tom Clark in a similar spec Lancer. But the speed would come. He was 4th quickest over the next stage, the 11.6 kilometres of Jenolan 1. By stage 3, he was getting into the groove, finishing the 28 kilometre Boggy Creek stage in 2nd. By the time they were back in service, they were in 2nd outright and were 2nd for Heat 1, scoring valuable championship points.
I didn't really know where we'd be, to be honest, you know what I mean? First stage was alright, I was just trying to keep a feel for it, I suppose. Big rocks, very, very loose. First car, very, very loose, like it's very, very loose. Second stage I had a drama where all my warning lights come on in my car for overheating, engine hot, all the warning lights slowed down, turned off all my anti-lag, all that. It's pretty much about to pull over. And then I looked at the actual cages in the dash instead of the computer, and that was reading fine. So it was just a sensor issue, but we lost a lot of time with that. The third stage there, I got a good feel for that. You know, I still need to clean myself up on the tighter stuff because I'm just back to my old tricks of going out too wide and spinning wheels all over the place. You know, like I've kind of come to the realisation now that it's not fast. You know what I mean? It looks good, but I'm just washing off too much speed, too much time.
The afternoon stages were a repeat of the morning stages, and JJ and Nathan maintained their position in 2nd outright. In the second running of Boggy Creek, The penultimate stage, disaster struck.
I think I done my diff. I had to pull over there. It's all over the place. It's just spinning out, won't grab any gears, no drive out of it. So I reckon the rear diff's gone completely. So it's all over. The curse of the Irish again.
Pretty disappointing considering the lead up into this event for you, all the preparation.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't mind you, but like at the start of that stage, like the first half of that, I was kind of just starting to get my rhythm of blind rallying, and we were doing some pretty fast bits, you know, and then all of a sudden then just started making more and more noise, and then it was just gone, you know what I mean? Pretty much the same as WRC Cuffs. It's like a drive shaft or it's a diff, one or the other, but the only way I got back in is you have to lock all the wheels. I don't know if it's a diff or drive shafts yet, because you can't see underneath it, so we'll try and get it back into the service park and have a look at it.
But it wasn't to be. They were out, so no points scored for Heat 2. Round 2 is in Victoria, in the high country township of Midamida. JJ was in the service park early with Tom Clark, who drives a very similar equipped Lancer Evo 9. JJ's Mitsubishi now fixed.
Yeah, but I had to put a new diff in it. My diff actually exploded in the back. It actually blew holes all over the casing. So I won't lie, last rally was very disappointing for me. It was very, it was hard to get over, to be honest. And this one's kind of like I have to get a result here, or else my championship is nearly already over. So I might need to maybe let off a little bit or try and go straight. And you know what I mean? I got Dasher to put 2 apexes into the front of the car, so I might be able to hit a corner properly. But we'll see how that goes. Like, luck is never on my side, as we all know. So hopefully get a good result.
There'll be a draw for the top 5, and JJ is not keen on the number 1 spot again.
I don't think we should even bother pulling tickets, because we all know I'm getting number 1. Tim said it yesterday, Tom's saying it today. I think I'm just not going to pull a ticket and let them 2 pull them.
But luck this time was on his side. He drew car 3. This rally was very compact, with just 5 longer stages, the first being the shortest at 14 kilometres. Stage 2 was a 37-kilometre test of endurance over the smooth and fast roads along the mountain ridgeline. After service, teams would head to stages 3 and 4, both ending with a descent into the farmland below the forests up high. Another service would allow teams to prepare for the final 39.72 kilometre test of stamina and durability along Dorchap Range. The mountains were misty at the start of stage 1, and JJ was off to a flying start. Coming into the first stop control, he was second quickest, with Clark taking a 16-second lead.
Geez, that stage is like, it's loose, slippy, trees, leaves. I should have went more in the gym, you know what I mean? It's flat, it's left, right, left, right, left, right, slippy, grass, you know? Love it, sliding all over the place. It's great fun. I even tried to keep it straight, but the ground is so slippery. I was sliding, I overshot in one corner, but other than that, it's a good first stage, I think.
The next stage was 37 kilometres, and once again JJ was fast. This time beating Clark by 3 seconds and solidifying second place outright going into the first service. As you can imagine, this was the sort of pace JJ was hoping for, and he was very happy.
Yes, very good. Second stage 1, won that stage outright there now, even though it was super slippy, and considering the first time in the wet, realistically my second competitive blind rally, everything's looking actually very good at the moment, so it is. Apparently I've broken the record by 23 seconds of the fastest time ever through there. Coming near the end of the stage, I thought I was going very slow because it was so slippery, but obviously it's going a little bit quicker than everyone else, so I took it out, so everything's looking good. Hopefully the car keeps going. I don't come off the road and end up on the podium.
Is this the rally that your luck's going to change?
Well, I didn't draw car number 1. My table number was table number 13 last night, so yeah, I think it has to change. This is the one that has to change. It's win it, bin it or burn it.
Stage 3, JJ and Nathan were equal 4th. This dropped them back, leaving Clark with a considerable lead of 43 seconds. JJ would need to work hard to close the gap. In stage 4, he pulled back 2 seconds, winning the stage. one thing was for sure, there was a battle developing between the two Lancer Evo drivers. And at this point, Clark had the upper hand. Both drivers were significantly in front of their nearest competition, including the Victorians, who were over 2 minutes behind. With just the 39-kilometre stage to go, could JJ make up the 40-second deficit and win the rally? Smoke from the front wheel mid-stage doesn't look good.
Here you go, curse of the Irish again. Started that stage, we were absolutely flying, and then puncture out of nowhere. We probably had to drive for like 15 k's with a flat, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't take any left-hand corners whatsoever. It just drove straight. So I'd imagine that's destroyed at this stage, but I'd imagine no trophy for me now. So gone again, you know. I think I'll have to give up this sport. Honestly, it's just, you know, if I hadn't got the puncher, I'd say I would have gave Tom a good run. It would have been well after him, like, you know. I'd imagine I would have won the stage because it was pushing very, very hard. And then bang, puncher. Very cruel sport. Back
at the finish, the mood had changed.
Still got second by 23 seconds after I got a puncher. I didn't get a puncher. I blew the tyre clean off the rim. 8 k's left in the last stage. Literally could not turn the car left at all. And I thought it was all over. I thought the old curse was back, and there was no way I was stopping to change it. I would have drove the car over the edge of a cliff and lit it on fire if I didn't get to finish it, to be quite honest with you, you know. So I guess this weekend's result is actually, it's good and it's bad. It's good because I got to finish and I got a podium. It's bad because now I have to keep rallying.
Scoring good points for the two heats, JJ sits in 5th. But there's still 4 rounds to go. Kyogle in the north of New South Wales was the destination for round 3 of the championship, and the event was the Border Rangers Rally.
A little bit nervous about this one, just first pace notes. I have to get a proper result here. I'm either going to be at the very pointy end or I'm going to be miles behind. I don't think there's a happy medium. I'm either on it or I'm not. Might have to grow a third testicle, but that'll be right.
The Border Rangers Rally is a very compact event. Just 4 stages, repeated 3 times, and these roads are fast. A win on the first stage was a great start, and after the first loop over the stages, JJ had a 1-second lead. Before the event, he spoke of his driving style and the roads.
Yeah, my flamboyant driving style here I think will get me killed, to be quite honest with you. So it's definitely fastest roads I've ever come across, fastest roads I will ever drive. Never been up here before, changing tyre patterns as well to a close pattern I've never used before, so it is super, super fast, and it's one of them, if you make a mistake here, it's off, big time off. So I think my normal driving style is definitely not going to work here.
So your advantage is that you love the pace-noted events?
Yes, this is definitely correct. I don't really get blind rallies. Like, it's completely blind for me. I don't really know what I'm doing. I can't really read the roads properly. But I've had some pretty decent results considering, but with after losing coughs as well, that's a bit of a kick in the face to me, because now I've only got 2 pace-noted events out of the 6, so I'm at a very big disadvantage, I think, you know.
Going into the second loop of 4 stages, it was a pair of second and third fastest times. Earlier, JJ spoke about how his car is suited to the Kyogle Shire roads.
Oh, I think it's pretty good, but like the four-wheel drive cars really don't have much of an advantage this time on these roads. Like an Escort or like Neil Bates would be very competitive on these roads because they're fast flowing. Do you know what I mean? We're all about four-wheel drive gripping out small, tight corners, but like we don't have that in this event, so it's really open to anyone. My old Quattro there behind me, I reckon, is going to give everybody a run for its money. To be honest, if I was ever going to get beaten by a car, it'd be Mal in that Quattro. I love it. At
the end of Heat 1, JJ was second behind Glenn Brinkman, who was just 9 seconds in front. Another battle to fight, this time with a different Lancer Evo.
Good, very good. Car's running well. Roads are absolutely fantastic. Very fast roads. But very good surface, you know what I mean? No bumps and car killers on them. But you need really big balls to hold these corners flat, you know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to get anywhere really on this stage or this rally. But it's kind of borderline on being brave and being stupid. I think I'm somewhere in the middle for my ability. But car's running fine, tyres are good. So hopefully just keep it up and see how I go. But I don't really know how I can improve much on some of them times because I made 1 or 2 mistakes, but not a whole lot, you know what I mean? So if you keep pushing because you're doing the same stages over and over again, you're getting closer to the stupidity part if you try and keep pushing too much, you know.
The final 4 stages made up Heat 2. JJ and Nathan scored second fastest in stage 9 and 12 and third fastest in stage 10 and 11. At the end of the event, there was just 17 seconds difference, with Brinkman winning over the J-Sport team.
Very good result. Gotta love being back on pace notes. Honestly, I don't even know if I can go back and do a blind rally after pace notes. Them roads are absolutely fantastic. The best roads I've ever driven, fastest roads I've ever driven. I'd love to go back out and start it all over again, to be honest. But good result. Could have went a little bit harder, I think. But I think I'm finished second overall. So very good result for me, I think. So, you know, we had some very good competition.
So the Bateman's Bay Rally, because it's going to be an option of pace notes or not pace notes, and they're not going to say who's pace noting or not, there might be a bit of strategy as to what rally you actually choose to do.
I'll be definitely pace noting Bateman's Bay. Definitely, 100%. If I could secretly pace note everyone, I would. As I said, blind rally just doesn't suit me.
With the rally done and literally dusted, an extra stage at the Kyogle Showgrounds would allow the J-Sport team to let their hair down and have a bit of fun getting the grass surface ready for its returfing the following week. The Rally of the Bay was the next event on the calendar, and the Bateman's Bay area was, like the rest of the country, in dire need of rain. This rally was bound to be dusty. Let's take a look at how the points pan out as we head into round 4. After the draw for the starting order, we asked JJ why his car looked quite different.
After we finished Kyogle from the New South Wales part of the round on the Saturday, of course I kept going for outright victory for the event on the Sunday. Won 4 out of the 5 stages, and the last stage I came off the road at 170 kilometres an hour and wrecked every panel on the car. Every panel is brand. The only thing that was saved is the roof.
It just crashed!
The same old car, the same driver, but here we are on pace notes, and you love pace notes.
Yeah, as I said before, I don't like blind rallying at all. I think these cars are a bit too fast for them. Pace notes definitely the way to go. Yeah, hopefully it all goes well. These roads are a lot different than the last round. You know, there are a lot of ins, very dangerous, trees right on the edge of the road. You know what I mean? You go offline here, you're gone off. You know, it won't have the same high speed as Kyogle, but it's definitely more technical and tricky. So I reckon this first stage is going to be a massive one. I reckon it's either win it or bin it on the first stage because it's so long. You know what I mean? I don't know what way it's really going to go, but I'm going to be a full attack again. It's probably going to be back in the panel beaters next week, but you know, usual story, we'll have a crack.
70. Fast, 4 left plus.
As JJ predicted, it was on from the start. JJ winning the stage by just 1 second over Glenn Brinkman.
And then fast, 4 right plus in. That's fast, 4 right plus in. In. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 2 left plus, this is 2
Stage 2, he was only 16 seconds slower than Brinkman, but such was the level of competitiveness that his time was only good enough for 5th on stage.
Into 4, Justin, 4 right. Tightens to 3 right plus, tightens to 3 right plus, and keep entry on exit. 3 right plus, keep entry on exit.
How slippy is this?
Yep, 4 right here, then 2 left plus late. 2 left. And then clip 4 right plus. This is clip 4 right
This
plus.
rally gave drivers a choice of pace notes or route charts, with 2 separate events and scoring. We asked JJ his thoughts.
Oh, look, to get the field up, like, I've no problems with that, but if you're in the championship running, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, how can you choose your competition for a round and get the same points as the other people? So you've got probably 10 of the best drivers here from the state, and then you can choose not to race them and then get maximum points. It's a smart move, like, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous, because I came to do the New South Wales Championship because there's 3 pace note, 3 blind. Now essentially there's only 1 pace note, and that was last week, or last round. Now you can choose. WRC is gone, so I'm at a massive disadvantage. I won't lie, I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is.
Strategically, Tim choosing to do the blind rally was pretty smart on his case.
Oh, very, very smart. But at the end of the day, like, it's the loophole that's in it. It's not really Tim's fault. He's just obviously an opportunist. He wants to get more points, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you come to be the New South Wales champion at the end of the season, and then you've chosen not to race the fastest lads, I'd never do that. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
And then 150. Fast 4 right, keep in 100. This is fast 4 right, keep in 100.
JJ and Nathan went on to win stage 3 and then finish stage 4 third. They were now in their usual position of second outright.
Oh, we have to fix that window. Yeah, I think it went pretty well. I think apart from the Skoda, let's just say the Skoda is not included. I think I won the first stage. I did win according to Rally Safe, I did. Second stage, I didn't do too good at all. Hit a bit of a bank in the back, and because the car is just fresh out of panel beaters, there's an awful lot of holes in it. Like, you know, there's no rubber seals. The amount of dust inside the car was unbelievable. One of the back windows is slightly down. It has no lever. So we come around some of the bull dust, and the inside of the car was just full of dust. Full, couldn't see anything.
The afternoon stages were a repeat of the morning stages. JJ was trying his hardest, but couldn't keep up with Brinkman's pace, finishing 6 seconds behind him in stage 5.
120, right entry, immediate 3 left.
In stage 6, JJ pulled the third fastest time and maintained his second outright, now 25 seconds behind Brinkman in the lead.
80. After 82 left plus.
Stage 7, he was second again, but then won stage 8, taking 3 seconds back from Brinkman. At the end of the stage, it was starting to get dark, with just 1 stage left.
I'm still going, so that's always a good sign. The stage 2 is very bull dusty, but no, I'm having fun. Second in heat 2, so that's all right. If I get second in this heat, then I'll be happy, you know.
Runniford Road was the only night stage in the whole series, and for some, this will be their first night stage they've done for many years. Runniford Road has been a favourite of drivers, with the fast and flowing corners providing an enjoyable yet challenging set of conditions.
There's 2 right in, and then immediate 4 left.
By the end of the stage, JJ was once again the runner-up, second outright and second in both heats.
Yeah, tell me about it. I seem to start getting consistent now, so I think every heat I've done I've finished second, and unless something magical happens on that stage, I think I'm second again overall for the event. Yeah, I don't know what's going on behind me. It's literally me and Glenn just changing times the whole time, so it is. So it's very good. Like, he's very competitive, he's very fast, and he's a top bloke. So if he's brought home the trophy, I'm all happy for him. You know what I mean?
3 left, 63 left, mate. Into narrow 2 right.
With such consistency, JJ now sits on top of the ladder, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect that teams get to drop their worst 2 heats. So on corrected points, JJ still has some work to do, but with just 5 points separating the top 4, this championship is far from over. Bathurst and the sunny Corner Forest was the destination for the penultimate rally of the year, round 5 of the New South Wales series. And as we know, JJ is no fan of blind rallies.
Yeah, I won't lie, I absolutely hate it. Like, I don't know what direction we're going, don't know what the roads are like whatsoever, don't know if I need to bring 2 spares, don't know what tyres to use. Like, I hate blind rallying. I just don't get it at all, because every time I do blind rallying, like, sometimes you go into the corners and you think it's going to tighten, so you brake really hard, but then the corner opens, then you're like, could have went through there an awful lot faster. So then the next corner, you think it's going to open and it tightens and you're in the hedge. So, look, I'm not really have a good feeling for this one, I won't lie, because I've done no prep whatsoever. Literally just, I actually forgot it was even on this weekend. I thought it was on next weekend. So I don't know, I'm either going to be on it or I'm going to be way off it, I think.
You do have a little bit of an advantage in that you can afford to drop a heat.
Yeah, I can, but then that's just working on other people dropping another heat, and like, that's not really the way you want to win it either. So I don't know. These stages are supposed to be very rocky. There might be a lot of punchers, stuff like that, but we'll see how we go. I've no idea what I'm going up against today, to be quite honest.
Now, obviously the car's been sitting in a dashboard, so the car's probably ready to go.
This car is actually the first time it was actually ever ready to go, waiting to go. So it was. So hopefully the car's been pretty consistent all year, in fairness, apart from the diff on the first round. So we just keep going and bash it out, and as I said, I'm either going to be on it or off it.
Now, you've had a bit of a reputation for coming second at most of these events. Are you going to give it a go?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have. I think I've been second in every heat I've done. It's a bit annoying, to be honest, you know what I mean? But I'll definitely give it a go. Like, I don't really look to see what everyone else is doing at the same time, you know what I mean? I normally just drive my own race or my own rally. That's what Nathan always says, just drive your own rally, JJ. And that's what I've been doing, essentially, you know what I mean? But I don't know how hard I'm going to push on a blind rally, because I don't know how hard everyone else is going to push. So I'd say the first stage or two will show a few things and see who's going to be on it and who's not going to be on it. But I hate blind rallies.
Fast, 5 right, and then listening Justin, 4 left plus narrows. 4 left plus narrows. Into 4, Justin, 4 right.
Having watched a lot of your onboard footage, one thing I noticed is that Nathan often calls you Justin. What's that all about?
Oh yeah, so you might find this surprising, but caution doesn't work for me. It doesn't register in my head. So if you say caution, I just ignore it. So when you say my real name, because obviously my real name is Justin, not JJ, then it triggers. So the only people who call me my real name is my mother and my old school teachers. So as soon as he says that, I listen to him.
Stage 1 was Mount Horrible, the only shire road used in the rally. But there were problems.
It's not revving out, is it?
No, it's got no power. 2 Ks, mate. Does the launch control hold the revs limit? It's not, but it's not hitting the limit, is it?
No, it's not doing much.
The scoreboard told the story. 7th on stage, they needed to sort the issue. Stage 2, Daylight Creek, was the longest at 21.53 kilometres. The J Sport team looked fast, and the issues weren't evident. They were beaten by Wilkins and Brinkman, both in Lancers. JJ was 3rd on stage and now 3rd outright, but he was 52 seconds off the lead. In stage 3, he was starting to get his confidence in the car back. 2nd quickest and closing the gap on Wilkins in front of him. Stage 4 would be the turning point. This was the Maccabee stage and is very rough in places. JJ needed to drive to the conditions and look for every opportunity to make up time. Brinkman was also having brake issues, so now was the time to capitalise. JJ and Nathan won the stage, 4 seconds quicker than Brinkman and 11 seconds up on Wilkins.
Medium left, crest, then medium left.
At the midday service, JJ wasn't aware that he was actually doing well. He still had issues with the car. His description of the day?
Disaster. Easily disaster. First stage, never, as I said, I haven't seen the car since the last round. Drove it in the first stage and just there's no power in it. It's lacking power. We can't really figure out what it is. You know what I mean? It doesn't really, it feels like a turbo, but it's not a turbo. Could be an actuator, could be intercooler hoses. We can't find what's wrong with it. But it's definitely not pulling properly at all. So I'd imagine we'd be pretty far down the list. You know what I mean? It's actually more dangerous now having less power, so it is, because you have to try and hold the speed, which is worse. Like, you're better off having power than brakes and gravel rally cars. But yeah, definitely some of it's very wild because I'm trying to carry as much speed through. I'm just trying to wash it off against the corners. But hopefully we can figure out what's wrong with it and get it going, because it's pretty annoying, you know.
So looking at social media, there's been a few people that are saying to JJ Hatton, stop whining and get out there and drive the rally.
Oh, is there? I haven't seen. Oh, they're probably dead right. I'm not whining. I just don't like blind rallying. Why can't I have an opinion? Yeah, tell them to fuck off.
So JJ, what positives are you taking out of this?
Absolutely none. Actually, oh well, that's a lie. So the last few stages we drove, especially the last one, even Nate said to me, he goes, you're driving unreal for the power we have, because it's so, you have to change your complete driving style. You have to carry, sweep, no cutting, handbrakes, you know. You have to get more of a flow happening, so I think we've done that. So if I get my power back, I'm going to fucking destroy everybody in the afternoon. That's it. Win it or bin it.
And that's what he did. The second pass over Daylight Creek was a brilliant piece of driving, winning the stage and taking 26 seconds out of Brinkman's lead and jumping past Wilkins into second outright.
So on the crest here, 2 right, half you, 3 right, half you. And then tight left up here, hard left up here. Narrows up. Caution hump, JJ, caution hump, Justin.
The repeat of Bob's Creek was the same. He won the stage and took another 8 seconds off Brinkman.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
With just one more pass over the Maccabee stage to go and 24 seconds behind the lead, the prospect of winning the rally is now a real possibility. The Maccabee stage is only 16 kilometres long, so 24 seconds is a big ask. But JJ was on a mission. At the end of the stage, JJ had a 3-second advantage over Brinkman, but the time to make up was too much, and even though he won the stage and won Heat 2, he had to settle for second outright.
Here's McCready. I hope we got that. Yeah.
Nathan summed up the day's experience in the co-driver's seat well.
It's pretty crazy normally, but we've been down on power today and he's actually been driving really, really well. So we were just lacking boost and we're not really sure what it is. So, you know, the first stage we really struggled with the car a lot, but it's just made us drive really neat and we've had a really good time today. So it's been a very enjoyable experience today.
Over in the driver's seat, JJ didn't actually know how well he'd done.
Yeah, I've had good fun. I'm still here. Finished another one. Don't know where we are with times. Would like to have a lot more power. I was down in power all day, but as Nate said, I actually think it made me drive better because I couldn't run wild, I couldn't do anything, I had to keep it neater. But I actually had fun even though I had no power, but we need to figure out what's wrong with the car for the next round, that's for sure. I don't know where we are, I don't know. I think we should have won that heat, but we're so far back we don't know what anybody else's times are. Could have even won the event, John, who knows?
The final round of the MTA New South Wales Rally Championship was based out of Cooma, south of the nation's capital. The roads in this area are known for being smooth and fast. So what'll be the plan over at J-Sport?
Flat out, try and win every stage. I think I need to. Even if I win every stage, Glenn can still get me. I think if Glenn finishes in the top 3, I think he's still going to have me. I reckon today is going to be a very, very interesting day. It could go any way whatsoever. I think the weather's going to play a big part. The afternoon's supposed to be storms, so we'll see how that goes. But it's definitely going to be interesting. There's nothing locked in for anybody at this stage.
In terms of the points, you're 1 point behind Tim, so between you and Tim, the battle's really going to be on.
Yeah, well, it's always on. I don't really race against people so much as I kind of race against myself most of the time. I don't really look to what everyone else is doing. I just do my own thing. But yeah, myself and Tim will definitely be having battle, but it's more Glenn I'm after. Like, Glenn is setting the standard, I suppose, setting the speed, so it's Glenn I'll be chasing down. Tom Clark also, chasing him down. And just see where we end up. You know, the other boys, I don't really know where they're going to be. Like, I've never raced against the other fast boys that are here today, so we'll just have to keep our boot in and see where we come up with at the end of it. But I'm happy to get to this stage of the last round, and my first time ever attempting a championship, and to be in this position to potentially win it if all goes to plan. But yeah, it's been a good year.
Stage 1 was a Shire road, and JJ took off fast. But there was no sign of him at the end of the stage.
We don't know what's happened to JJ yet. I think report was from the boys he's done a shaft. So, look, he was halfway in on the side of the road, which is very unfortunate. But if it is only a shaft, look, he'll get back here. We'll get it repaired pretty quick and get him out for the afternoon.
Obviously not the start you were after.
No, not at all. First stage, snapped the drive shaft probably, I wouldn't say any more than 5 k's in. So my advantage of having one heat up my sleeve is already gone.
You can rejoin, you can go out and score points in the final heat, and potentially nothing has really changed.
Yeah, well, if I had a better heat that time, then I could have dropped my worst heat from the last one. So I still would have gained an extra 2 points. Maybe I could have dropped the heat where I was third. And just to get some practice in on blind rallying and the roads, get a feel for the road. All the boys that have a feel for it now, I've no feel for it at all, like, you know what I mean?
Give me a yellow texter. JJ.
But the afternoon stage would never happen. A massive storm and crazy conditions forced organisers to cancel the second heat. In a way, this was a good outcome, as JJ's car broke again at the start of one of the stages. JJ, despite the fact that you've had a shocker of a day, you've come second in the championship. Well done.
Yeah, I suppose I've had a terrible day, so I have. Haven't done one stage, broke the solid shaft first, got back to service on a trailer, fixed that, and then brought out the stage 3 to have a run, broke the outer shaft straight away in the start line. So I haven't finished one stage, but yeah, second in the championship is a massive deal. Like, I'm shocked I'm actually here. Like, it's just, I think the weather actually worked in my favour of cancelling the last heat. But like, all due to Glenn and Harvey. Like, they drove unbelievable all year. Like, you know what I mean? And they're 2 top blokes. You couldn't have better people to do it. You know what I mean? And then like, thanks to Nate for sitting beside me, and thanks to Dash and all the boys for looking after the car. Tom Clark does a lot of stuff for me as well behind the scenes, you know what I mean? So it's been a big year, and I've had massive support even from here, and I've actually nearly had more support from Ireland. Everyone in Ireland is jumping off Facebook every day, best of luck and everything. And you know, I was trying to win the championship. I did wake up and think it was in January and write a little post-it on my fridge saying I'm going to be 2018 New South Wales Rally Champion, but I didn't do it. But like, it is my first time trying, and it's my first time doing blind rallying competitive, so I think we gave it a good crack, and it was great fun, and it was very disappointing today, but to get second is still a big achievement, so I'm very happy with it, like, you know. And I'd like to thank everybody who helped me along the way, I suppose. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do for next year. I'm sure I'm going to get annoyed over Christmas and then say, fuck it, I'm going to win it.
Let's take a look at the final leaderboard. A very competitive year with just a handful of points separating the top 3. We now look forward to 2019 and seeing what the J-Sport team delivers. Whatever it is, it'll be sure to be with the same enthusiasm and flamboyance we saw in 2018.